call them. They're not like very heavily thought out or mapped out like some pranks would be. I said it's more of just a constant array of shenanigans that happens, and if we can mess with somebody, then we do it. So it's not really pranking. It's just this. It's just living. It's just life. I'm constantly screwing with the camera so that it messes up the shot. He's constantly fondling somebody underneath the camera frame. We'll rearrange things. A lot of times we just change the words during our off camera to where it does nothing. They're old. I did this to Spade. I think on Friday. So he comes in and he says his line, and I'm supposed to give a response. And on his coverage, I changed the response to be something probably inappropriate. So there's one of two things that happens. Either he breaks and laughs, and the take is ruined, and my job is complete. Or he holds it together and continues with the scene, but then it festers. So it's just like rolling a grenade into his mind. Because I've said it, and now he can't forget it, but now he's just trying to keep a straight face throughout the rest of the take, so then the take's blown anyway, because he's not even thinking about his diet. It's fantastic, and I enjoy
it. We enjoy it too, so.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was just gonna ask, I know you guys probably become real close to your fellow cast members. Out of all the deaths that there's been, have you guys taken any of them worse than others? Knowing that you won't be able to work with them anymore? And
wait, which one are you on?
Well, the wonderful thing about Supernatural is we really don't know that we won't work with them anymore.
I'd say early on we probably took some deaths pretty hard, you know, like it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they killed that character off. Like, I love that character. I also love the person that plays it. But through the years we've become, you know, we'll get all upset about losing someone, and then all of a sudden it's like, guess who's coming back? So I feel like now we're a little gun shy and getting really emotional about anybody that dies, because we're like, well, listen, I'm not saying goodbye, okay? Because I'm just gonna say, I'll probably see you later. And if I don't, then I'll get sad, but I'll have forgotten about you anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a great defense mechanism.
I think I took it pretty hard. I think it was pretty difficult the first time I ever read about Sam Winchester's death. I was like, oh man, I like this show. Okay. Gotta do what you gotta do. And then luckily I got a script for the next episode. I was like, oh, I'm back. It's kind of...
I felt like that the first 60 times I read Dean's death. And I finally got over it.
That having been said, I did take Bobby's death. It was pretty rough. It was a great episode, it was a proper send-off. And here's the reason, and this, we didn't know that there'd be a season 13 in an apocalypse world and a season 12 where we run through like a bizarro Bobby. So what the wonderful but tragic thing about when Bobby died is it was such a proper send-off. We weren't in the episode a whole lot, you know, it was a lot of him and Rufus. And so it felt like, man, I know it's Supernatural, he can come back, but that was such a proper send-off for such a beloved character that it would kind of be a shame if next episode he was like, here I am, I'm better. You'd be like, oh, come on. But it was like such a nice tribute to such a beloved character. But I think, luckily, with Apocalypse World, we were able to bring him back properly, but not really bring him back, but bring a version of him back. So yeah, let's go Bobby, Charlie, you know.
Eileen.
Now we're all sad.
Way to bring it down, Jerry.
I mean, Ruby. Probably would have led without.
Yeah. Let's bring a song more often. Thank you for your question. Hi.
Hi. So this is my friend's question, because I didn't think I'd actually get picked, and so I didn't have a question.
What?
Well, I just...
Well, I'm gonna give you my friend's answer.
If your wives were here, what bad habits would they say that you guys have?
None.
Don't lie.
How much time you got? I'm gonna be here all day.
I know one just because there are many. The one that comes to mind, and this is only something that she would really know because I don't really get ready for bed around anybody else. But when I'm in the bathroom and I'm like, brushing my teeth and getting ready for bed, I don't know why, but I tend to do everything very mechanical and loudly. So it's almost like I'm working in a bar. Like I'm spinning the toothpaste and slamming it down, and then boom, hitting the faucet thing on, hitting it off, and she's just like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just brushing my teeth. I don't know what the problem is." And she's like, "Why do you have to bang everything around?" I'm like, "I'm just nothing. I don't what." And I never realized I did it until like just recently. She pointed it out, and now it's all I'm aware of. It's like I'm full on Tom Cruise in Cocktail, just like spinning things, slamming them on the ground, doing this, kicking things, kicking the door closed over there, opening this. And I realized I make so much noise when I'm getting ready for bed. There you go. There's one thing, and it annoys the hell out of her too. But I'm not gonna stop.
I have two main things. I'll go with when we're at home for number one, and when we're traveling for number two. So when we're at home, I leave the doors open, like to outside. If I go outside to take the garbage out, or to feed the chickens, or to let the dog out, or something.
Which if you live in like Southern California or in Central Texas,
spiders and tarantulas,
everything.
Snakes.
Yeah, snakes, mosquitoes.
And also, your air conditioning bill gets a lot more expensive. And then when we're traveling, I guess there are two major things. The main one is that if I go to the gym in the morning and I sweat, so I don't I'm not gonna pay $30 to wash a pair of shorts. So I'll go from the gym to the shower and start showering with my clothes on to wash the sweat off. And then I'll take it off and bunch it up in the shower and squeegee it out. And then I'll kind of put the pieces in the bathroom. Like one over the bath nozzle, one on the side of the bath. Because I want them to dry, because I don't want them to be moldy, And she gets so mad, because there'll be like a sock over here, a piece of underwear there, workout shirt, a beanie. And she's like, your stuff is all over the bathroom, like I can't do anything. And then if I leave for a little bit, then I get mad, because then when I go somewhere, she'll bundle it all up and throw it in with like a t-shirt that wasn't a workout shirt. And I'm like, you're throwing it with workout clothes that are nasty and stinky, and I'm gonna wash those when I get home. So I know she doesn't like that very much. And I keep the AC on super cold, like 65 degrees. That's what I'm talking about. So I get home and I'm like, it's a sauna in here.
The breeze is a
Yeah, the
thing.
temperature, the thermostat is a constant battle in my family, and will forever be. I'm going to point out one thing, a pet peeve of his, that is a pet peeve of mine. Something that you do that is a pet peeve of mine. Whenever he comes into my trailer, which is often, we're often, come in and run lines or, chatting about whatever, talk about what we're gonna do this weekend. Walk up and there's a countertop right there, and then like a sink on the back side of it, and then there's like chairs and stuff over there. He'll walk up, no joke, every time I can set my watch by it, he does this. And puts his gum on my counter. Every time. And I'll walk over and I'll see it and I'll be like, why? He's like, well, I'm not done with it. Like every single time. Like, it's almost like he's like taking his shoes off before he enters someone's house. He walks into my trailer and he takes the gum out of his mouth and puts it on my countertop, and then he does. He picks it back up and puts it in his mouth and leaves. And I'm like, we have an infinite supply of gum at craft service, an infinite supply.
Gum tastes better when it's been exposed to oxygen.
That is not true.
Smacking makes it taste better. Yes. Y'all got something to learn. They're all gonna secretly go home and go like, all right, let's give it a shot. And like, we've done that. Pick it back up there. Okay. I'll be damned. He was wrong.
Like Will Ferrell and Elf, you find the gum underneath the subway. You're like, oh my gosh, these are so old, they're amazing. They've been exposed to oxygen for years.
Genevieve was telling me this story. She was going through customs. She had flown from Austin to Vancouver. This was years ago. I think Tom was a baby. And the person in front of her, you know, you go to the counter, and here's my passport, here's my declaration, and I'm coming here to visit. And she's like, we had just had our first kid. And she's looking, and the kid is maybe like 4 or 5 years old in front of her. And the kid is like holding up the counter going like this. And the poor parents don't see what's going on because they're terrified they're gonna get deported or something, so they're like dealing with their passport. Finally the kid is like trying to pick himself up, and Jen's watching this all go down like, what is going on? What's wrong with this kid? So finally he gives up and pulls a piece of gum. And Jen's like, oh God, my kid's gonna do this.
And then Jared looks at the kid and goes, hey.
Hey, is there any more down there?
Save some for me.
Hook the brother up.
It's gross and you need to stop it.
Hey kid, hook the brother up. Don't hog it.
Gum doesn't go on the counter.
Yes, it does. It'll get better. You will try it. You will try it. These are the droids you're looking for.
And my question is, I am a local boudoir photographer,
That's a statement.
and we have
So was that.
we have desk whiskey in our studio,
Also a statement.
and I'm wondering what kind of whiskey you would add to our collection. We currently
Also a
have
was a
Winchester whiskey
question.
and Jack Daniels almost always.
Actually, no, it was a
6
statement.
statements.
No, it's a question. What kind of whiskey would you add to our collection?
Ah, that was
To desk whiskey?
To our desk whiskey
To
collection.
your desk whiskey? Well, I'll say the one that is popular not on the set of Supernatural. Or anywhere close to production. Would be Bullet Bourbon.
Yeah, and Bullet 10 is not much more expensive, but it's a lot smoother.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Quick and easy.
Hey Jared, hi
Hey guys.
Jensen. My name's Robert Hawk and this is my daughter Liz. We're from Lincoln City, Oregon. My question to you is, on set, what is your most embarrassing moment?
Where to begin?
That's a great question. I ripped my pants. I did. I ripped my pants.
Yeah, the hard thing is that he and I don't really get embarrassed about much. Is the problem. Yeah, he ripped his pants and immediately was like laughing louder than anybody else at himself. You know what? I tend to get because of the nature of the show. A lot of it is smaller sets. It's either on a soundstage or it's in an empty building or a dilapidated house or something to that effect, where there's not a lot of additional performers on camera. So he and I have gotten really used to working with like minimal surroundings. Whenever we do big, giant, big scenes with a ton of extras, or when we're addressing a crowd or doing anything with a ton of people, it gets a little bit more intimidating. And when you're addressing like a big crowd of extras, and you're trying to give them like a motivational speech, you're doing something, and then you turn around and you fall on your face. That was pretty embarrassing. The good thing is that I work with people that don't like to exploit that very much. Oh no, wait, they put it like 4 times in the gag reel. It's the only moment they repeated literally 4 times. That was, like I said, I don't get embarrassed often, but for some reason that one was, that was teed up for embarrassment on that one.
There's also, I don't want to say it's embarrassing, but there's a certain dynamic to when you work with these guys and gals on the crew, on the cast, and script supervisors, and gaffers, and grips, and electricians, and construction guys and gals, and then when you have a sex scene to shoot, and so all of a sudden these people you've known, you know their kids' names, their wives' names, and